Andrew Kaczynski, thanks for joining us on Planet America.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I think he's joining us from the Pulp Fiction basement. Andrew, take this clip now, for instance.
A new direction in crime, welfare, education, taxation. It's time for a change.
Yes, well, he's got some good points there. How do you like this music behind us right now, huh?
Well, I like music of almost any kind, including this.
Take a clip like that. Where do you find something like that from?
That clip really, that clip had actually been kind of floating around the internet for a few months. I saw it embedded on, a couple forums, and no one had really actually, blown it up. And I remember I found that, I'm like, this is hilarious. Not only is the teen awkward, but Romney's awkward too. So I put it on my YouTube channel. I sent it to a couple people, and before I know, it had something along the lines of 100,000 views.
So as an Oppo guy, take us through your life. What do you actually do? Like, how do you find all this stuff generally? Like, what does your life consist of?
Well, generally my life consists of kind of monitoring the news, monitoring the debates, monitoring everything that's going on. And I really try and work off of kind of trending topics. I'll just look back, into the archives that no one really else is doing it, and I can just find stuff that people find relevant today just using all sorts of different search methods. It's gotten to a point where I can, take someone's statement, and if I think they said something different at some point in their life, or if I think they said something, that's not exactly in line with the traditional ideology of their party, I can really, really quickly look through Google, YouTube, Google videos, AOL videos, Google News, all sorts of different archives, and I can do it within a matter of, a few minutes, and I can, almost fact check these people in real time. So
it sounds so easy, but the fact is that you're finding probably more than half the stuff on the internet at the moment during these primaries. How is it you can find stuff that even the campaigns themselves can't seem to find?
I don't know. I think to a certain extent there really aren't people looking for this stuff. The fact that no one else is really doing it is something that's made this something very unique for me, and made it so that I was able to gain so much attention doing this.
Does it concern you, Andrew, how this material is going to be used? Do you look at a clip and say, gee, if I put this out there, this is going to be really bad for Romney or really bad for Gingrich?
I don't. The way I look at it is if you're a candidate, if you're someone who's a politician and ran for office, and you said something, in the public domain, whether it was 1994, 2002, 2007, people really do have a right to know what your previous position had been on a certain issue. And since you're running for office now and you're running for office then, I think when you said something on the record, people do have a right to know that you said that.
How do you feel about people taking your clips and putting them in attack ads without attribution? Like, if we look at this clip here.
The blind trust is an age-old ruse, if you will.
So if you see that ad there, they just blacked out BuzzFeed in the top right corner to hide the fact they just stole it from you. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I wasn't very upset about it. It was almost kind of flattering that it's always flattering when something I find is used in an ad for me, because it shows that I've really had a little bit of an influence over the process. But that was a little bit of a minor annoyance.
And so you do cover the whole gamut. You cover, policy and flip-flops at the same time. You'll cover someone who picked their nose. Like, you do the whole lot. What's your favourite kind of get? Do you like the silly stuff or do you like the hard policy? What do you actually get most excited by?
I like the stuff that does actually have an effect on the race. Like when I found that video from 2002 of Romney when he was, attempting to appeal to the more moderate electorate in Massachusetts, saying, I'm a progressive Republican.
We can actually play that right now.
I think people recognize that I'm not a partisan Republican, that I'm someone who is moderate and that my views are progressive.
Those clips really do have a certain impact on the race. The Romney progressive clip is something we're going to be seeing in attack ads, all the way up into the general election, given that he is the nominee, which a lot of people are presuming that he is. That's something that you're going to see, played out repeatedly. So I do like finding the stuff that has that real impact on the race.
If you were going to give some advice to some young politician, some young up-and-coming politician, how to avoid the Andrew Kaczynskis of the future, what would it be?
I would say just stand by your record. If you're someone who's, with someone like Rick Santorum, whether people agree or disagree with his political beliefs, he's someone that has really stood by his different principles, and he's someone that is harder to find, the flip-flops on. When you have someone like Mitt Romney or even Newt Gingrich, you get the idea that they've changed their views less out of their core convictions actually changing and more out of their changes coming for political convenience.
Andrew Kaczynski, many thanks indeed for joining us on Planet America this week.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks a lot.